Hi, I'm sharing my junk journal that I used during the months of November of 21 and also January and February of 22. In December, I did a separate junk journal. So I got this book at an antique store, and my name is Sue, so that's why I gravitated toward it. I have 8 signatures in here with about 3 or 4 folded pages in each signature. I can remove the pages from these signatures, and that's exactly what I did when it got to be too chunky. I took out 2 of the signatures, and it was still pretty chunky. So anyway, I just wanted to share that and show you my style of junk journaling. So again, November, January, and February. So I do a lot of, I like to use pages from vintage books, especially from the 50s and things of that era. Did some shopping, did some antiquing at this point, so sometimes I'll include a little something that I picked up. A couple little cards that I found and just journaled about that. There's a little envelope that had something in it when I was shopping, so I used that. There's a little postcard with a cute dog, so I journaled on that. And you can see this is the first signature, just a few pages. I got together with some high school friends, so wrote about that. I won a raffle at my church that I had an airline voucher and a Marriott hotel gift card along with some packing materials that I won. So wrote about that. Went to the Olive Garden, wrote about that, and just picked up a couple of things. I have a canary whose name is Chip, and now you can hear him. Here he goes. So I wrote a little bit about him, and a little page from a book. I planned my Thanksgiving menu and included the cash register receipt and a page from a book with some shopping in it. Here is the actual Thanksgiving. Here's a photo, and I wrote about it on this postcard that I mounted. Oh, sorry, but he's in a big cage. I can't move him. Here we had a shower for my nephew and his wife that I attended. And here we get into January, and I knew we'd be spending a lot of time indoors, so I made a list of movies with a wintry or cold theme, and we watched those throughout January and February. So we did a lot of that, just staying home, and when you've got someone to stay at home with, it makes it a lot easier. So I would just journal about what we were doing or what movie we were watching. Fargo, just talked about that. Use some candy, make a little pocket. We made some plans to go away. And also at this point I started doing a quote of the day as well as a scripture verse of the day. I got this idea from watching Sandy Creations, her videos. She does a word of the day, and I like that idea. I just didn't want to do a word of the day, so I started doing quotes of the day. Like this quote: Men are like wine, some turn to vinegar, but the best improve with age. And that was by Pope Pope John the 23rd. Not a quote you would think would come from a pope. Okay, and there's a quote and then scripture on the back. This is kind of separate little doors here. National Popcorn Day, my favorite snack. Every so often I do a COVID update on what's going on in the world of COVID. I did a lot of COVID in my 2020 and 2021 journals. We finally got together on January 23rd to celebrate Christmas because COVID was rampant and my son got it and his little girl. No, it was one of his sons had it, so we had to cancel those plans. And you can't control everything, so that's was kind of on my mind when I found this picture from a magazine and added my own little T tag. You just have to let it go. This is my oldest grandson, who's 14, and I just gathered some photos of previous birthdays and wrote a little bit about him on there. And then we started February. I had a picture of a groundhog from a children's book, so wrote about that a little bit. A lot of people were doing the taking the scraps and jazzing them up with paint, and so I tried a little bit of that. This is a page from a book, and I have a pond near my house where they have turtles and ducks, and we're not seeing them now, but with the winter, but I just wanted to write a little bit about how I'm looking forward to seeing the turtles again when I walk past the pond. Sometimes I try to find a quote that has something to do with the weather or what we're going through. At that time, we were going through some really cold weather, so I think I liked the juxtaposition of the bird with the creepy face, Jack Nicholson. I actually did take this page out to do the stitching here. On this day, I went to see my doctor for my annual checkup, and I found a quote: "A healthy attitude is contagious, but don't wait to catch it from others. Be a carrier." I thought that was nice. And then there was actually, I found some scripture about making friends with your doctor, for he is essential to you. It's from the book of Sirach. So, and again, I saw this bird here, and so I found a scripture about the birds. Yeah, getting in the act. My husband wanted to see that movie again. It was we went to it when we were dating years and years ago. I made a miniature of his copy of his card that he gave me for Valentine's Day. We're coming up on our 50th wedding anniversary, so I have lots of Valentines that I've spent with him. Yeah, and then we did some adulting. We went to the cemetery and picked out a burial site. Fun times. So we wrote about that a little bit, and we've been kind of putting that off, so I found this scripture. Kind of like putting things off. I was in a flow journal swap, and this is the card from the person I swapped with. Oops. So this was a little otter picture. And I just wrote about working in my high school years with at Weebles, which was a department store. And I worked in the redemption center for S&H Green Stamps. That was fun. Did you ever stop to think and forget to start again? Famous words from Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, that's my life now, forgetting. More COVID update there. We have a squirrel in our backyard, so it keeps eating all the seed from the feeders. Some more quotes. And kind of talking about what's going on in the world in Russia and the Ukraine area. So that finishes off February. And then I'm starting the new journal that will be for the spring, March, April, and May. And I'm doing the same thing again, this time with 6 signatures. This is a Tale of Two Cities book that I got. And there's lots of room here. You can see just a few pages in each signature. I got this, what do you call it? Yep. Not coming to me. Wallpaper. Yeah, that's a hard word. From my Flow partner. Yeah. That's me. That's my life now. This also came in her Flow journal. So I'm just putting in papers that I like, and I don't decorate ahead of time because I do that as I come to each day and put in things that are things I collect or that have something to do with that day. So I just put in some things that appeal to me at the beginning. Here's an envelope. This was something I wiped paint off on, and I like the look of it, so I put that in there. But as I come to each page, I will decide what to do with it to decorate it. So that's my next one. So thanks for looking.